I'm a divorced single dad, father of 5 kids. It can be tough raising kids today. Believe me, there are high times and low times. It comes with the territory. But in all my years of parenting, I try to give some good advice. Advice for those parents who are willing to listen. My name is Price Man Ray, and welcome to my show. Today we're going to be talking about positive things to say to your kids. Now, this is part 3 of a 3-part series. So I hope you guys have been listening to the other 2, but before we go any further, I want to congratulate all the new parents out there. Boy, are you in for the time of your life. This is an exciting time and a great adventure. So cherish every moment. Now, on with the show. So we're talking about positive things to say to your kids, and this is part 3 of a 3-part series because I have so much to say. And I'm glad a lot of people have been reaching out, emailing me, telling me how thankful they are for all the advice I've been giving them. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I don't have all the answers, but if you take a little bit of advice from people you know, people you trust, I'll tell you, it can be worth a lot. I'm not talking millions of dollars, but it's definitely worth a lot, especially when you're raising your kids today. So, let's get on with the show. Positive things to say to your child is, and I'm sure this is obvious, I'm proud of you. That's right. Every child wants to hear their parents say, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I mean, let's face it, you have great kids. And your kids want to make you proud. I'm sure they don't wake up and say, I want to make my parents miserable. I want to do the worst or be the worst person I can be in the world. No, that's really not how it works. I think every child wants their parents to be very, very proud of them. After all, kids are good at heart. We all know this. Kids are very good. So always tell your child you're proud of them. You also want to say, I'm grateful you're in my life. That's right, every kid wants to hear how grateful they are in your life. That's something that makes a kid smile, makes everybody smile. I'm grateful you're in my life. I'm grateful because when I wake up, you're right there. You make the stars shine brighter. You make the sun shine brighter. You make my day terrific. Yes, you do. And you got to tell your child this all the time. They love to hear it. They love to hear, I'm grateful you're in my life. And you want to say it like you mean it. Because you do mean it, don't you? Yeah. You want to tell your child that you are important. Every child's important. Nobody is not important. They're important for everything. Why? Why are they important? Because you love them. They make a difference in your life. Kids are important. Important to you, important to the world. Can you imagine if the world had nobody in it? If there was not a soul in it? Would it be a world? It'd be a world of what? Trees? Animals? But the fact that we make a difference. Children make a difference. They make a future, a positive future, an impact on the world. Tell your child you are important. And you also want to tell them your ideas matter. That's right. Tell your child, no matter what you say, your ideas matter to me because I think you're very smart. I think what you have to say is important. What you have to say needs to be said. Your ideas matter to me. Your ideas matter to your other parent, your grandparents, or whoever you might have in your life. Your ideas matter. You want to inspire these kids. You want to let these kids know that inside you, inside that thinking bucket you have, that brain, that beautiful brain, your ideas matter. Ideas are important. Can you imagine if we went through life without any ideas? What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? I don't know. I have no idea. How was school today? I don't know. I don't have any idea. But not just those ideas. I mean, those are just basic ideas, simple ideas. And I'm sure your kids know what the answer is on those. But if you had an idea that, hey, I want to make a light bulb. Or if nobody had the idea for that, let's just take it to that extreme. If nobody had the idea to make a light bulb, we'd be living in darkness. We'd have oil lamps or torches to read our books at night. It would be terrible. It would be archaic. Ideas matter, especially your child's ideas. A world with no cars, a world with no bicycles, a world with no refrigerator, a world with no computers, no internet, no telephone, no cameras, nothing. It's the ideas that these children have that make the world a better place. I'm not talking just technology, though. I mean, yeah, I was naming off technology, but let's talk about the ideas of vaccines. Vaccines that help everybody, that have cured many diseases. The idea is to save a life. The idea is to plant a tree. The idea to look up our history. Archaeologists, they're full of ideas. They translate ideas, and they have their own ideas. Ideas definitely matter in the world today. You want to tell your child, especially at a young age, you are able to do work that matters. Yes, you are. If it matters to you and it's your work, it matters. My child, when she was younger, she used to watch a lot of doctor shows. And I thought she was going to be a doctor, but she does her other stuff. I support it. But she was able to do the work that matters. You are able to do work that matters. You want to be a doctor? Be a doctor. You want to be a teacher? Be a teacher. A fireman? Be a fireman. You want to be a protector of the United States in the military? You can do that too. You're able to do work that matters. You definitely are. And all your ideas matter. You're able to do anything. You can do anything. Tell your child you can do anything. Anything. Tell your child I see you working and learning every day. It amazes me. That's right, because kids do work. And they learn every day. They go to school. And even if they don't go to the traditional school where they get up or take a bus or the parents drive them, or they walk or take a bicycle. Or if they just get out of bed and go to the living room because they're homeschooled. I see you working and learning every day. They need that encouragement. You have to encourage these kids at a young age. You have to tell them, yes, you can. You can do it. And I see you working and learning. And it's very important that they hear stuff like this. Because if you don't tell them, who is? Who's going to tell these kids? Who's going to tell these kids who are our future? Inspire them. Encourage them. I mean, like I've said, they're important. Their ideas matter. They're able to do work that matters. And I see you working and learning every day, soaking up that knowledge. Sometimes you might look at your child and you're just thinking, I'm curious what you think. What do you think? Challenge your child. Make them say, what do you think? Make them search and formulate those sentences. Get that mind moving. What do you think, child? I'm going to the supermarket. Want to go? Yep. What do you think we should get? Oh, now they have to think. They have to think, well, you know what, kids are probably going to say candy. But then you got to say, hey, listen. No, we have to bring this back down to earth there, little one. What do you think we really need? What do you think that is really important on a grocery list? Hopefully they'll say fruits, vegetables, a little bit of meat. Then they'll probably say junk food. But that's what kids do. But then, you might want to say, we're going to go to school today. I'm going to drive you. So you get in the car and you say, where do we go? What do you think? What route should we take? You know how to get there? What do you think? Tell me how to get to school. See what your child says. What do you think? What do you think? I'm curious what you think. Kids can do the most amazing things. They can surprise you. They can say the oddest, weirdest things, the most bizarre, the most encouraging, the most smartest things. But what's really cool is when you can look at your child and they do something and you say, how did you do that? How did you do that? I remember I was in school. I think I was in the 7th grade. I was in an art class. And another kid next to me, he made a circle and he used dots. I don't know how he did it with his pen. But at the time, I was really curious. Everybody ran around him. You know what they said? So that's amazing. That's really cool. How did you do that? How did you do that? Of course, he wanted to keep it to himself, like a little trade secret, as if somebody from the Egyptian time who made the pyramid said, I'm not going to tell you how I made the pyramid. Doesn't matter. It was beautiful what he did. He didn't want to say how he did it, but as a parent, you should encourage your child. When they do something, you say, how did you do that? Even if it's the simplest thing. Did you make a paper hat? That is amazing. I've never seen one like that. Can you tell me, honey, how did you do that? I'm sure your kid will be so excited to tell you. Your child makes a paper airplane and it flies. Oh, you act surprised. This is how in the world did you make that paper airplane? That is amazing. How did you do that? Your child gets dressed by themselves at a very young age. You did that by yourself. How did you do that? How did you do that? Your kid will start laughing. They'll say, Mommy, Daddy, I'm smart. You taught me. That's how I did it. Or I figured it out. I did it. Kids are resilient. Kids are smart. And you should ask them, how did you do that? Kids are full of so many ideas. So many. It's really amazing. You need to ask your child. You need to tell your child, your ideas are interesting. Because all their ideas are interesting. I remember my children. One of my daughters, when she was young, she used to wear these headbands on her ankles and wrist. I thought it was pretty amazing. I thought it was interesting. Your ideas are interesting. Why did you do that? They explained, well, why not? It's funny how a child's mind, their imagination, isn't confined to the boundaries of reality and the norm and going with the flow. A child's mind can expand more than ours. There are no limits to a child's imagination. Of course not. Because their ideas are interesting. Orville and Wilbur Wright, two brothers, made the airplane. I'm sure at a young age they said, we're going to fly. Maybe we'll stick feathers on our arms and do it. But eventually they made the airplane. As a parent, I would have said, as a child, your ideas are interesting. You don't want to discourage your child. Never want to say, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. No. You want to say, your ideas are interesting. Your ideas are really something else. That's what kids need to hear. Another thing you want to say to your child, positive thing, is you've made me think of things in a completely different way. In fact, a completely new way. I'm going to say that again. You have made me think of things in a completely new way. I remember when I was younger, my dad taught me division. He showed me a way he did it. So I went to school, and the teacher in the 5th grade, she was asking everybody, how'd you do on your homework? Everybody said fine. They did their homework. Some people got it wrong, but the teacher was teaching us a different way to do division. Well, I couldn't understand her way of doing it, so I did it the way my dad did. And guess what? She looked at my paper and said, what's this? How did you get all the answers like this? And I showed her. I said, this is how my dad taught me. You've made me think of things in a completely different way. Do you know, at the end of that class, everybody was taught how to do it the way my dad taught me. It was easier. I mean, you get the answer. It wasn't hard at all. It was easier. You've made me think of things in a completely new way. And there's always new ways to do things. Always new ways. I mean, I don't think there's just one way to do something and say, this is final. This is it. There's no other way to do it. No. People can grow. People can definitely think of things in a completely new way. They can. Because we're people. We evolve. We grow. And our children do the same thing. And we want to encourage that in our kids and tell them, you've made me think of things in a completely new way. Something else you want to tell your child. I'm excited to see what you do. That's right. Whether they walk, whether they eat ice cream, whether it's their first time in a school play, whether they're singing in the school, whether they're playing sports. I'm excited to see what you do. I'm really excited, honey. Tell your child this. They'll never forget it. This is something they will carry on with them for the rest of their life, and they'll be happy for it. And when your child does something for you, something else, you should definitely say, thanks for helping me. How hard is it to say thanks for helping me? It doesn't take a lot. Just thanks. Simple word. 4 words. Thanks for helping me. And kids will smile. I'm sure they'll say, you're welcome. I'm so happy I could help you. I wanted to. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for helping me. And you always want to say when your child helps around the house, thank you for contributing to our family. I mean, come on. Do kids like to do dishes? By hand. I'm saying by hand. I'm sure they don't, but when they do, oh my goodness, thank you for contributing to our family. When I had another house, we had a dishwasher. We don't have it now. But when we had the dishwasher, kids would just put the dishes in the dishwasher. Well, guess what? Thank you for contributing to our family. Thanks for helping me. And I'm telling you, you can see the biggest smile on their face. It just, if it was a dark room, that smile would have lit up the whole block. It would have lit up everything. You know, and it makes you happy too. It makes you happy to see your child that happy, to see your child grateful that they helped you. And kids love being around you. So you always want to tell them, I enjoy your company. I enjoy it when you hang out with me. I enjoy when we go for rides. I enjoy when we go for walks. I enjoy when you sit with me and we're watching a TV show. I enjoy your company. I enjoy your company. If you have more than one child, you got to tell them all, I enjoy your company. Because you make me smile. Because they're interesting, they're beautiful. They're growing, they're learning. They're valuable. And they matter. They matter to you. Because they're your child. Kids need to hear stuff like this. And they also need to hear that it's fun to do things with you. I mean, kids don't want to be a burden. They want to know that when you're doing something, it's fun. And you want to make it fun. Whether you're changing a tire on a car, doing the lawn, doing some laundry, pruning the flowers in the front, anything, helping around the house. It's fun to do things with you because you make me smile. You make me laugh. And you want to tell them, I'm glad you're here. You know, you really do. I'll say in this segment, the positive things you want to say to your child is the most obvious probably. Do you know what it is? I'll give you a second to guess. Take a wild guess what it is. It's this. I love you. I am a strong believer that kids need to hear I love you every day. I don't care how many times you say it, 3-4 times a day. You say it till they get sick of hearing it. Till they say, why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep saying that, Mom and Dad? Why? You know why I keep saying it? Because I love you. Because I mean it. I love you. Myself, I love all my children. All my children are different, and I love them all. They're all special to me. They're all valuable to me. I believe in them, and they matter. Everything I've talked about in these 3 segments, I'm telling you, I picture my own children. I love being a dad. I can remember when I was a little kid, that's all I ever wanted to be was a dad. I couldn't wait to be a dad and teach my kids and hang out with my kids and be the kind of dad I thought was a great dad. Now I'm going to tell you guys something. You know, you can have a plan for the whole life of what you want a family to be. You can have a plan for what you think is going to happen with all your kids. I'm sorry, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. I'll say most times, because life doesn't go as planned. Things are going to happen. Can you imagine walking down the street? You can say, I'm going to walk down the street. I'm going to walk to the park. You'll trip. You'll fall. You know, you might get distracted. Eventually, you will get to the park if that's where you really want to go. But I'm telling you, a family, when you have a family, it's a little different. All kids are different. Remember, all kids are special. All kids have their own individuality, and you can't judge each kid the same because they're all different. And they know that, and they'll love you. They will always love you. As long as you teach them, I guess even if you probably don't teach them, you hope your kids love you. But they're all going to be different, and you always want to say positive things to your child to help them grow, to be a great adult. And they will take all these experiences and advice, everything you've told them, the words of wisdom with them when they have kids. And you can pass that knowledge on, and it hopefully will go on and on. But I'll tell you, being a parent is a great thing. It's challenging, but I'll tell you, it's an adventure. So like I said, you got to cherish every moment, every day, and tell your kids I love you. So listen, I want to thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate and review this podcast and share it with your family and friends. I hope you leave with something that helps you being a parent. I will see you next time here. And remember this one last bit of advice. Tomorrow is never promised. So don't go to bed angry at your child or anyone you love. And before you go to bed tonight, hug your child and tell them, I will love you forever, Dad. See you next time here on Forever Dad.